The polls in Nigeria at a 4-yearly interval of rituals. Huntington, therefore, saw democracy as a political system which is considered democratic because it allows the most popular candidates to be thrown up and to govern you. It lays a solid foundation for governance. The people, therefore, are the owners of the power, not the elected or selected few, because the tail cannot wag the dog. It is a misnomer. The dog wags the tail. So when you say you call the rulers, hello, they are not your rulers, they are your servants. Yes. Because you gave them the power. That is why section 14 of the Constitution says the Federal Republic of Nigeria shall be a state based on the principles of democracy and social justice. It is hereby accordingly declared that sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. So you are the one actually ceding your powers to the people who have today become state captors, rampaging buccaneers of power. Elected or selected people with a bacchanalian propensity to consume a rentier economy, virtually a failed state, where non-state actors now dictate to a legitimate government how and when and what should be done, with them planting flags on Nigerian soil, collecting taxes and giving passes to citizens, challenging the sovereignty and suzerainty of a sovereign state. That is a failed state. 217.6 million people today by latest United Nations projections. We are living below poverty line. Is that the country our forefathers wanted for us? So when those our forefathers were fighting, and they brought about the first election on the 9th of March 1942 for the Lagos colony, after the forceful amalgamation of northern and southern protectorates and the Lagos colony by Lord Lugard on the 1st of January 1914, we have never had a good sign. Indeed, your country, called Nigeria, has a foreign name, a name bequeathed to her by a foreigner, a young British journalist called Miss Flora Louisa Shaw, who wrote an article in the London Financial Times on the 8th of January 1897, saying, let's call, instead of saying Royal Niger Protectorate, it's too long a name, let us call it Niger area, Nigeria, that area around the Niger. That was how we got her name. And that young lady, sir, was later to marry Lord Lugard as his wife. So even your name is Burundi. And guess what? Nigeria, formerly administered by the Royal Niger Company, had to be sold to the British government for the sum of £863,000. Sir, your country was bought for £863,000. That's how much we were worth. It was after the Berlin West African Conference of between 1845 and 1844 and 1846, where they came here and partitioned Africa. Oh boy, you are British. Which side you want now? Nigeria. What of you, German? I want the other side. Mr. French, where do you want? Portuguese, where do you want? So they shared Africa amongst themselves. So they started rewriting our history through the Western eye. Imagine them telling us that Mungo Park discovered Nigeria. How can you discover a river, Akaiji, New Busa, where you met the people drinking water and taking their bath? So you discover which river? So all those early discoverers, Clapperton, Lander Brothers, Mungo Park, Vasco da Gama, when they did well, including those they said they found the sea route to India, we bless them and their souls. But when they were lying against us, mosquitoes started dealing with them. That was why they called Africa the white man's grave, because they were dying in tongues. So, those problems led us to the 1922 Clifford Constitution, which introduced election for the first time. We didn't go far. We had to have the 1946 Arthur Richards Constitution. It didn't help us. We had to have the 1951 McPherson Constitution. We didn't go anywhere. We had to have the 1954 Littleton Constitution. Then the 1960 Independence Constitution. Then the 1963 Republican Constitution. Then the 1979 Obasanjo Constitution. Then the 1989 unused IBB Constitution. And then the 1999 Abdulsalami Abubakar Constitution, which is actually a schedule attached to Decree number 24 of 1999. How many of you remember that the 1999 elections were held without even a constitution? So the constitution lied, tells a lie about itself when it begins in its preamble by saying, we the people of Nigeria do hereby give to ourselves the following constitution. Where? How? We didn't. The format by which you get a constitution is even more important than the contents of the constitution. That is why a constitution, to be legitimate and believable, it must be autochthonous, indigenous, deriving directly from the people. Our constitution is not. It's a militarily imposed decree number 24. The problems we are having with our electoral process are many and gargantuan. Remember, after the 12th of December 1959 elections into regional and federal legislature, where voting was by secret ballot, three main parties, the Action Group, AG, the Northern People's Congress, NPC, and the NCNC,